stream key from the YouTube thing, put it in there, press go live. On YouTube, it'll say your stream. It'll show that you're actually streaming to it, and then the go live button on YouTube will go from gray to red, and you click it.
Oh, see, that's a step I missed then.
I thought that I had said that as clearly as possible.
I may not have watched your whole video. I don't know. I may have had a squirrel moment, and it was just like, oh, what's that? And I missed that. So.
And I'm thinking of redoing the video entirely, step by step, with written words for people.
That's probably not a bad idea. You should get one of those. Get a bunch of little pieces of paper like they used to do those videos. I don't know if they still do those or not, where they have music playing and they just flip to the next card. You should do that. I think that would be cool.
That I might do that. Actually.
Get some 3x5 index cards.
Mm-hmm. Well, they usually did it with like 8, the 8.5 by 11. So
you guys joke, but I'm seriously considering doing that for people, just because the factor that I guess I wasn't as descriptive as I should have been.
I don't know. I watched it and I thought it was pretty easy, but
I did too. But apparently, I found out that I may have to write a book called "How to Use Gun Tube Chamber for Dummies."
Some of us have short attention spans, and we just want to get to the good part of it, and that's why we.
And you need something to read while you're on the toilet. I understand.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I watch all your produced stuff while I'm on the toilet. Kind of like Snobs.
Yeah, I'm the same with your stuff. Yeah.
I'm still locked out of Avatar, by the way.
I mean, I get to midnight stuff around the time when I have to flush.
So instead of catering to a bunch of feebles, why don't you use the analogy of a car? And most people have gotten into more than one car in their life as a driver, and they've successfully navigated around in more than one vehicle, more than one brand of car, right? So if someone said, describe to me how to drive a car, it would be irrational for you to say, pick up your forward key and put it into the ignition and get to the third button from the right, and that's your blinker, and the fourth button down is your turn signal. That's irrational, because every dashboard is different, even in Fords, let alone Chevys and Dodge and some other car, right? So everybody in the world that has ever driven can understand that you do not micromanage when you're trying to describe something that has an interface that isn't consistent among brands or models or any of that. So now you challenge your audience and you say, look, you feebles, are you going to suggest that the internet is so hard for you that you sit down in a vehicle and you're basically dumbfounded? And if the ignition switch is 4 inches to the right or left, you're totally confused and you're unable to drive the car? Get off your butt, figure out that what Night Strike built is just a different dashboard, learn the pieces, and freaking save the world. Quit being a feeble.
In my defense, I'm busy chasing the pores off my private water feature, so I've got other things that catch my attention.
Well, I mean, if we're going to use car analogies, though, I felt like the gun tube instruction video was like getting in an old Volkswagen Bug that, everything's in a different language and you're trying to understand it.
It's not. If it was a Volkswagen Bug, you would know how to use it even more so because it's got a carburetor in it.
I don't know how to turn on the heater, though.
See, the problem with gun tube is that
the same old feebles that are like, but it's so difficult, but are the same people whose grandparents were like, what do you mean there's buttons on the phone? What do you mean there's buttons on the TV? And you were over there going, Grandpa, you push the buttons like this, you old timer. So figure it out.
Well, yeah. To be fair, most of us just jumped in at the last minute because we're basically lazy, and we got into this car that we have no idea where everything's at. We got it started, we got it in gear, we're driving down the road, and all of a sudden it started pouring, and we have no idea where the windshield wipers are at. We don't know if they're on the
Your grandma's desperately trying to figure out how to use a cell phone in the rain to call. Night Strike. What do I do?
Yeah, you have
Push
you
the
have
button,
no-
damn it.
You have no idea how many phone calls I get from people asking me, how do I use GunTube? I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, dude, if you're going to college and you're writing papers for your PhD, you should know how to use a computer. I'm sorry.
Way
but
to out bloke. You just outed bloke.
But still, I didn't out anyone. I'm just saying that, come on, guys. Come on. If you can use a computer to write a paper, come on.
Night Strike, it's raining, and I can't figure out the windshield wipers, and I think I felt a noise.
Well, then you better have your gun on you. Otherwise, something might happen.
Yeah, but then whenever you ask Night Strike, he's just like, just look for the windshield wiper button.
It's right there.
It's right
there.
there.
You blind?
It's right there in front of
It's
you.
the button. It's the button.
I mean, if it was Patriot in the Dark, I would understand because you can't see the button, even if it's right in front of them. I
I've done
understand.
a lot of technical support over the years, and I'm not even playing around. Microsoft Mac tech support, 1997. A lady called in, and it was like the equivalent of a Super Bowl victory or whatever. This lady calls in and was standing on the mouse because she thought it was the foot pedal, like a sewing machine. That actually happened in a call center. It's not fake. So back in the day, when somebody couldn't understand, you yelled because they were old. So Night Strike is, if he's anywhere coming from the same place I'm coming from, this yelling is part of tech support sometimes.
It is, unfortunately. And I'm sorry if you guys think I'm yelling at you because I'm angry. I'm not. I'm just. I want everyone to use it. I want everyone to be happy, use it, and I want us to talk about the real issues. But again, it's frustrating when I get calls and I'm like, and I tell people how to use it, and I run through the steps one step at a time, and people still don't understand. It's frustrating, and I guess maybe I have to use pictures. I have to make a picture book for people now. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I think I've got it now. So
Can we get a coloring book version? That usually helps me.
Well, we just might.
Night Strike, I colored outside the lines, and I don't know where my red crayon is.
Oh my God! You don't know where the red crayon is? It should be next to the blue one.
Ghost probably ate it.
Exactly.
Oh,
I think it's next to the white one.
If Ghost ate the crayon, then it's gone. It's not coming back.
Yeah, you're not gonna, or if it does, you're not gonna want it.
But we had a question about when the GunTube app is
coming
out, and I'm working on backing up the website right now. I'm in the middle of backing up the database, and then I'm going to try and get the new software installed and online. And once I do that, then I have to go and contact the people I bought the software from because they're making the GunTube app. I thought I just had to compile it and hire someone to compile it, but they're making the GunTube app.
Awesome.
So everything is going. It may be a few weeks before we get everything up online. And if I can't, it might be an issue where I may have to just take all the videos that we have and recreate everyone's account manually on GunTube and then upload those videos that were uploaded. So
an internal document. I'm a $1 co-owner of GunTube.
No, you haven't seen anything. Don't
internal
lie.
document where Night Strike was going to sell most of the videos to the Chinese for quick money.
Yes, and I heard that you were okay with infringements and you love using 9mm.
That's fake news.
Exactly, which is what I'm saying right now. But no, so yeah, it's just if I can convert the database, it'll be great. But if I can't, that means I have to manually go and recreate everyone's account manually, and that means you will have to, log in, redo all of your passwords and whatnot, and do all that. But I'll let everyone know if what happens as it happens. I'll probably post an announcement on the GunTube channel. I'll post an announcement everywhere else too, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything. So I'll let everyone know.
All right. Well,
But I
I'm
have
boycotting
backups
if
of
I have to-
everything.
If I have to
so-
redo my password, I am boycotting GunTube. That is it. That is the straw.
Now
That is
that
my
we're-
line in the sand.
Well,
now that we're 10
I'll tell
we're 10
Stacy on you.
Yeah, he's not scared of her. He hasn't bought a gun in like 3-4 days.
Uh-huh. Longer than
Yeah,
that.
he certainly hasn't gotten that Bel Air yet.
Mm-mm.
Shut up, Night Strike.
Well, now that we're 10 minutes into it, we'll get the introductions out of the way because, we're not midnight and we don't let the show go for an hour before we get introductions out of the way. So welcome to Dumpster Fireside Chats number 30. It's actually number 2, but I'm not renumbering everything. I'm sticking with my numbers. And if you don't like it, I'll have roll call show you the door. So welcome everybody on the panel. Welcome to everybody out there in the chat. Let's see who we got. Oh, we've got more than this. We got 10X Shooters out there. Two Gun Kitty is out there. Daniel Pfeiffer is out there. Gun Websites out there and in here. Kingpin out there and in here. Midnight Range may be back from his timeout. May not be. Rich White is out there. Scott P79 is out there. Snob is out there and in here. Unknown User is out there. I saw Mrs. Snob at the beginning. 38 Super Partisan was not on that participants list. See, this is
I like
this is
what
part of the
Daniel
problem.
Pfeiffer
Daniel
just said.
Pfeiffer wasn't on that participant list. Lead Life, 2 Live Mood just popped in. Med 60 popped in. Scott P79 popped in. So this is, YouTube is infringing on you people in the participants list, and I
There's a
wouldn't
damn
have
cheater out there too. Damn cheater.
I like what Daniel Pfeiffer said. 9mm is an infringement.
Oh, kinky, screw kinky sphincter.
I love Kinky.
Him and his
I
18
don't.
suppressors. I'm sorry, now it's 19 because you got the free one.
I seen today again on Facebook, 90 days. A person got their stamp back. I've heard they were under 4 months time.
Oh, Ohio 45 is out there.
All right, Ohio 45. What's going on?
How you doing, sir? And in here we have Glimtech Arms. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing just fine. Hopefully everybody is doing fine as well.
Ooh, Daniel Pfeiffer got one of his T-shirts today. All right.
Ooh, I did not get my T-shirt today.
Yeah, no. I actually had to go and order more packing material from the postal office because
You didn't have enough to pack that big of a T-shirt.
No, I didn't have. I ran out of packing labels. Not packing, but the USPS priority mail sleeves that I sent everything in.
What do you mean?
I ran out of those.
The bubble wrap ones?
Yeah, the bubble wrap ones.
No excuse. I order them 3 times 25 at a time. They're free, and there's no limit. You can order as many as you want. There's no excuse to run out of those. They're free.
I know they haven't arrived yet. I ordered them like 4 or 5 days ago.
As I say, boy, you haven't been up to our post office where you can't get anything.
Well, they bring it. You can't get those at the post office. You
No,
can go to the
I'm actually
post office,
I'm actually waiting for small boxes. I've ordered them through the post office. I've ordered them online. I still have yet to get them.
Yeah, I got some from my local post office the other day. I got the last 4, and they said they weren't getting any in for at least another few weeks. So until I get that shipment I ordered online from the postal service, I can't ship anything else out. So
you just refuse to do it.
Well, yeah, that sounds like some kind of infringement going on there.
I'm being infringed by the postal service.
No,
So-
here's what's happening. Everyone who contributed hard-earned money, they probably sacrificed to contribute to GunTube, and then you're just like at your whim deciding when you're going to hand out your reward.
It's not on my whim. I wish it fucking was.
Jesus! Let me turn down my
you
volume. That was loud.
had to get them fired up, didn't you?
Well, it's the obnoxious chat. I
And
don't care.
there's the 102. Isn't that what it used to be? Is a 102? 102 violation?
I
Some
don't know
shit
what
like
it
that?
was.
I don't know. I don't care.
As long as it ain't a 302.
See, he just said he didn't care.
I don't care. Everybody in here knows I don't care. It's, that's why I make sure that this is monetized before it goes live, because that's the only monetization I'm going to get on this.
Read Midnights.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Set-
yeah. Night Strike's still waiting on a Pony Express to bring his
Mhm.
packing label. Or packing.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
which, I had a comment on my Bond Ranger 2 video, somebody left there. It's 45 Colt, not 45 Long Colt.
No, it's 45 Long Colt. That's why That's why it says 45 LC on most boxes.
Actually, my box of Defender ammo just says 45 Colt, but it's
You won't be able to find any 45 stamped with the 45 Long Colt. The boxes will say it, but none of the
Yeah.
shops
Yeah.
like to have it
but
stamped.
it's just like you don't have anything better to do than argue about whether it's 40. You obviously knew what I was talking about.
Well, they just finished an argument with somebody over whether it's the or the.
It's the, you idiot.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But all right, Night Strike. Now that G-Webs has pushed your exact button, how you doing? What do you got going on? Anything?
As I said, I'm backing up GunTube so I can switch over to new software, working with the developer to get apps done and branded and working with the new software. Everything is happening at once. Shipping out stuff when I can and sending people emails once they have tracking numbers for the GunTube packs, the Founders packs, and the shirts.
Alrighty, cool.
So if you ordered, whatever email you used with Indiegogo is the one you will get your tracking number on. So just make sure to check it.
Oh, I'm gonna have you send it to a different email.
Well, that's too bad. I'm not going to do it.
All right, thanks for coming in. I would say thanks to Sarge for coming in, but he didn't like being in the back room and he left.
Well, it's Snarge. What do you expect?
Yeah, he'll be back.
He did tell you to save him a spot in his defense.
Blame the duck with its crazy limit of 6. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kingpin, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
And Rich, yes, I know. I know that, but everybody calls it 45 Long Colt. If you say 45 Long Colt, nobody looks at you and goes, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
So,
If you call a Long Colt in a gun shop, everybody knows you're a noob.
G-Webs, how are you, sir?
I'm investigating the questionable business tactics of an online video provider. I've been investigating. I'm actually a substantial co-investor. I've got a lot of money tied up in it and learned that they're doing pretty questionable stuff. So I knew about some travel infringements, but working.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're out there fighting the good fight.
I'm backing up this data. No, I'm thinking that you're the one as a punk. I do all my stuff on the chamber because it's easy and it's better than this. I like the dock. It's snooty, but it's okay. But the chamber is like way better. You can have 10 people in there. And when it's over, we don't have to just leave. Like in the duck, they're basically telling you to scram because when the person leaves who runs it, everybody else is just locked in, like sitting there looking at each other. It's like we're all trapped in one of them.
And you can't rejoin it.
It's like we're a bunch of ducks with oil on us, drowned in because we're stuck in a 6-pack thing, and there's nothing we can do about it. On the chamber, do whatever we want. It's freedom. You can walk in, walk out, individual liberty whenever you want. It's like this is infringement. GunTube chamber is liberty.
Ooh, unknown user has some interesting back knowledge to what's going on.
That would be the case if Night Strike's name was Hillary Clinton, but it's not.
Is he wiping him off with a rag? What?
I hadn't gotten to that one yet because I was still on Scat P79's comment here. If you can get 45 Colt, can you still get 45 Colt?
Yes.
Or Colt 45 rather?
Colt 45, yeah. In a 40. Yes.
In a 40. So it's like it's kind of like the Glock 45.
Mm-hmm. The beer equivalent.
Beer equivalent of Glock 45. All right, Snob, how are you? What's going on?
I don't even know why I'm even here. This is a disaster.
You came into the show that is
actually the Fireside chat. This is going to be good. This will be some quality stuff. I'm going to jump right in and have my expectations high.
Well, I was expecting to smell, burning plastic or something like that, but no.
No, it's all wrapped up.
Night Strike's temper is the only fire in here.
Thanks.
Hotter than any plastic.
It's like a solid white flame. It's not even blue.
And just like plastic, if you poke your finger in there when it's burning, it gets all over you and it hurts a lot more. It never stops burning.
Guys.
Oh, I have something important to bring up before you get started, Obnoxious.
Yes, sir.
Did you see the infringement that happened in Oklahoma today on Instagram?
No, I did not.
38 Super Partisan posted it on Instagram.
It wasn't an infringement. It was a takeover.
Oh yeah, it pretty much was just total takeover.
Yeah, I saw that. That wasn't an infringement. That was the goat uprising.
I just want to say that my Amazon package was chewed on one corner whenever I got it today. I don't know. I'm just saying.
And he's not even your UPS guy.
I don't know. He could be. I never see the UPS guy. He's always here and gone quicker. He's like throws it out from the road.
I didn't realize until it came up like the second time in my feed that he had more than one picture and that there was more than one goat.
I didn't see there was more than one picture. I just saw the one. I got to go back and look.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 goats climbed into his fucking truck.
I just saw the one sitting up there on the dash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's somebody who's working? I thought that was just some truck in a yard and a bunch of goats got in it.
No, that's his delivery truck.
Yeah, that's his.
He went up to the house to go do whatever job he's supposed to be doing. Like a bunch of goats just went in there.
Yep.
What happens if you drive off with somebody's goat? You'd be like, where the hell did you come from? Goat? Like, damn it, the goats don't have tags on them, do they? They might. Do you tattoo a goat? How do you know if you stole the goat?
Maybe you brand them.
I don't.
And yes, it is a tar far.
No budgets on me. Just don't blur your back.
Yeah.
This guy's still sucking the duck. He can't figure out the chamber. He's
No, he figured it out last night. He just screwed up.
He's driven off with someone's cat before.
I could see that if they just.
I was going to use the chamber, but it was raining.
Right, and I didn't know where the wiper was. The wiper blade thing was.
And you just got yelled at when you asked.
I don't know where the button was, even though it was right in front.
Well, if it would have been in the right language, you would have been able to read it and know it.
I called tech support, and he said, "Push the button." Just yelled at me.
Oh,
I did, and I launched a nuclear missile.
That's why he likes the duck. Look how everything's orange all of a sudden. That's why he likes the duck.
Well, yeah, I can put my own colors up there and change it. Change all the. You can choose your own color scheme, so that's kind of nice. There's a couple nice things about the duck, but it is much better to have the have the full panel if you got people coming in. Kingpin, don't ask about it being plugged in because Gizzard will just get all over you if you asked him if he turned it off and turned it back on. And then what does he end up doing? He turns it off and turns it back on.
And it works, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gizzard will go after you. Do not anchor the Gizzard. I'm just telling you.
So I don't know if anybody's heard about this little thing that's going on next month. There's some kind of rally going on in a city that maybe you've heard about, maybe you haven't. I think it's called BC. Is it BC?
I like their tea.
Devastating cluster, yeah.
I thought it was. Is it like BC before? No, that's not right. It's District of Columbia. So there's this little thing going on next month. On November 2nd, every second matters. So I know what shirt I'll be wearing for it. And unfortunately, I won't be open carrying because you can't have a gun in DC. Well, you can't have a legal gun in DC. So there's.
I was like, you can have one.
Yeah, you can have one for a while.
I say you can have all you want.
You're also going to get room and board and those.
Well, actually, the way it works anymore is if you get caught with one illegally, that way you just, you get, okay, you were a bad boy, have a nice day, because you're not allowed to own one anyway. But if you're actually a law-abiding citizen that gets caught illegally like that, then you go to jail forever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. If you're not a law-abiding citizen, you get a little slap on the wrist and you're out.
Yeah. If you're an illegal alien, you're a scuzz bucket, you're a drug dealer, you're okay. You're fine. No problem.
If we have 2-something million people in U.S. prisons, I'd go with that theory. But when there's 2.7 million people in prison, we have literally more percentage of people in prison than any other country. The only country that has more humans in prison is China, and they have 10 times our population, and they still have a less percentage in prison. So that's a old wives' tale. I'm going to challenge it.
Well, when you look
have fun challenging it.
Yeah, when you look at Chicago, you got so much. I mean, they get. We're not even going to go into Chicago. Let's just stay on the.
Nobody wants to go into Chicago. You get mugged.
No. And I had to refrain because I talked to my.
Out to DC, you're not going to find anything really. You're not going to find black eyes on DC ever.
But I didn't even go into it with my sister and why I was coming up there because she's an Obama liberal, and I mean, just
surprise.
I told her I was coming. I told her I was coming up, and she offered to have me stay with her, so that's where I'm staying. But I didn't go into why I'm coming up to DC or the fact that
I'm totally figuring out your sister's name, and I'm sending her a message telling her you're going to secretly leave your gun in her house while you're in DC.
Well, as I say, you certainly do have a backup plan on where to stay as soon as she finds out what you're doing there, right?
I'll sleep in my truck in a parking lot if I have to. It's not the first time.
So I've been doing some thinking about this today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to convince the wife to go, but I forgot David's going to be there. So all I have to do is, Stacy, David's going to be there. You get to meet David. So now we'll be going.
Are you seriously thinking about coming up for the?
I seriously am, but I won't know till like probably the week of.
Are we talking about Hasselhoff?
Yeah, him. He's going to be there carrying his little board they carry, when they run out. Have a shirt on.
The little red floaty thing.
Yeah.
Are you seriously thinking about coming?
I was seriously thinking it's 18 hours, but I was looking in Harrisonburg, Virginia. I thought about driving there. It's like 16 hours. Driving there, staying, and then driving into DC that morning, hanging out all day, then driving back, staying back in that same place so I can leave my gun in the motel.
Instead of the little red thing that floats, it's a little red flag.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, Kingpin, you mind if I drop you in the back room and bring in Budget?
Oh, you know me, man. I'm down.
Yep. I know.
It's like a pin. Gets knocked down.
Does Budget know how to use StreamYard? We're not going to have the same repeat, are we?
So,
no, see, this platform doesn't have non-functional.
Budget, seriously, look out, dude. There's a possum on your right in front of you.
Oh, shoot it! Squirrel!
That's my Yeti scalp.
Well, I will be staying in.
I took a shotgun, my dead cat, and cut it up to fit on my blue Yeti. So now my microphone has a mullet.
You're cutting in and out for me.
Yeah.
Same here.
Scalp's doing some harm to you.
Or something.
They sell these little pop filters, and you don't need that thing.
Yeah, I know. I ordered some. I just. Well, no, actually, I would still need this because I have a fan right above me and it gets wind noise. So I do, but I ordered a dead cat that actually fits this, and I haven't ordered a pop filter yet, but that's on my list.
Well, why don't you unplug it and plug it back in because it sucks?
Yeah,
you're going to get a new mic anyways.
You're cutting in and out. So.
Yep. It sounds like you're talking to a fan.
Yep.
What the flying fuck?
We only heard half of what the flying something.
No, I caught all of it. It's just, but maybe it's just my mind.
I know what the
going
problem is. Let me change my mic.
Well, we'll just sit here quietly while you do it.
Is that better now?
Yes, much better.
Yes, much better.
I was running it through a virtual mixer program, Voice Meter.
I tried using Voice Meter and had zero luck with it.
Yep.
I did it and did some recordings with it, and it sounded really good. And I was running through it on G's show last night, and it didn't sound too bad. Maybe it just doesn't like the duck. Maybe it only works with GunTube.
I tried it way back in the day of Hangouts, but
Well, I will be staying in Springfield, Virginia.
I don't know where that is. I'll have to look.
That's like on the south side of DC.
So Snob is talking about going to Georgia. You're talking about going to Virginia, and then that was the recommendation from, I think, Knox yesterday during the chat where we talked about, and that's where I learned more about it. But the idea, what did he say? You could pretty much, like, if you think about it being a one-day event, it's in DC, but you only need to be hours away from DC. And since it's so packed and the states are so tiny out there, you can be a state or more away within hours, right? So you guys know the terrain more, but it sounds like you guys are strategizing something like that. And then I got other topics, but I don't know if it's not going to keep going.
Yeah, I definitely want to hook up with people. Oh, Sarge is back in the back room. Hi, Sarge.
Uh-oh. Hi, Starch.
Hi, Snarch.
So
Is
I
there somebody
definitely
to double duck? Could we double duck where somebody opens another duck and then
Let's call ducking.
that duck into this?
I don't think you want to double duck because that doesn't mean
I've
what you
double
think it
ducked
means.
already. We've already double ducked when we've done the.
No.
We did that on the chat
entirely
battle.
different.
We do it with chat combat all the time. You just don't come around when we do that. But it's possible.
Yeah, because they get accused of Google.
Somebody just has to stand on one foot on each wing, and then the ducks have to fly right, and then it works fine.
So they have
But,
to straighten up and fly right.
I'm going in Friday to have dinner with my sister and see my almost 2-year-old niece who I haven't seen yet. And then I figured I'd get up Saturday morning. We'd get a bunch.
Find that on your calendar.
What the hell are you doing back
Hi,
there?
Alexa.
Are you gonna bring that little kid, and then that way the kid will get into guns, and then talk to the mom, and they'll be like, "Why does my kid like guns so much?"
But and then I figured we'd probably all meet up for like breakfast or something, or a meet up before the rally and get a big old.
That at some point, maybe closer to it, we should prep, right? Like so that everyone knows, like, I don't know, if the thing's on the 2nd, maybe on like the 25th or something. Everybody knows the Gun Channels crew is going to figure out who's all going. By then, people will know, right? And
Yeah, I was planning on reaching out to Marco because he'd reached out to me about it and find out maybe a good place to meet up where we could all just meet outside DC, and then we could all
Like
store our.
museum that's open every single day and it's free, and it's the NRA museum.
Okay.
I don't know how many people,
Ooh.
10,000 people or
I
25,000.
hadn't even thought of that one.
10,000 people or 25,000 people show up. That might not be the best idea, but I don't know. I remember what it is. There's the Battle of Manassas or something. There's some battlefield
Bulls Run.
in the Civil War that is between the NRA museum and DC. Is that what it is? Bull Run?
Bulls Run.
Is that the one
Battle
that's
of Manassas.
is that the one that's right next to the NRA museum, or are you just saying that?
No, the Battle of Manassas was Bulls Run.
Oh, all right. I don't remember. I'm just saying that because I've been to all of them when I was a little kid, and they all look the same to me. All Civil War battlefields look the same to me. But I know there is one. Haas wanted to go to it real bad, and it's just nothing but you ever been to a Civil War battlefield? They're just big fields, and then there's a building with some cannons around it. Like they're just giant fields with parking lots. So even if there's 25,000 gun owners there, and they all want to go to the NRA museum, so we can't even hang out there, we could go across the street literally to this battlefield and hang out there. That'd be kind of a neat place to do a meetup. It's got to have internet. It's right next to DC, right? But anyway, I'm just throwing shit out there for now. But yeah, there's certainly, I like the concept of us all meeting up. Now, you're talking, though, the morning before the march. I guess I was thinking not relative to time. If we're going to be the morning before the march, unless the march starts at like 1 p.m., I don't think it really, on a Saturday, I don't think you casually meet up outside of DC for breakfast and then casually just stroll down to DC.
Well, it starts at 1 p.m.
It starts at 1 p.m.
Oh, well then shit, I guess I'm wrong. So then, yeah, I guess that gives us plenty of time. Because I think parking is like super hard. People live there. So they'll go to the middle of DC. I don't know how many people have been to see DC. I've only been there a few times. I'm no expert. But I see things like people playing softball in the middle of like all the DC stuff where like the nation's capital is. there's a field there, so a bunch of people are playing softball. There's like 12 cars show up. Everybody's in their own car. So like the people that live there are a bunch of jerks and hog all the parking spots just to do stuff like play softball there. So like you really got to get there early, or they expect you to Uber or bus or something.
No, well, that's what I was figuring on doing, was because most of us are going to have a gun on us or in our vehicle, and we'd have to leave it someplace. Gotcha, search. And we're going to have to leave it someplace because we can't take it into DC.
If you're going to leave it someplace, I would say Virginia probably is the
exactly. I would say Virginia
I got a plan.
also.
I got a plan.
And if you have the option to take the train in, I would take the train in.
That's what I was going to recommend.
As I say, it'll drop you within a block of where you're going to be.
Yeah,
I've got a plan. We're just going to park on the Virginia DC line, and we're going to all leave our guns with my wife and just leave her there, and then we'll go to the rally, and then we'll come back and get her. But I'm really going to come back and jump in the car with her, and we're going to take off with all Obnoxious's guns.
Well, I'm only bringing one.
Okay. Well, could you bring more?
Yeah, the rest of the guys are going to need a couple extras, just in case.
I don't know. Me and a few people rented a Airbnb right on Capitol Hill, right in that neighborhood, a few blocks from the Capitol. That's what we did for the night. We're going to drive in Saturday morning, get there, park at the lodging, and then walk on over to the event.
And then stay at that place Saturday night, you're saying?
And then stay at that place Saturday night, correct. That way we got the rest of the day Saturday to do the sightseeing thing and do whatever. Then do a little bit more of that on Sunday, then go home Sunday afternoon. Because it's like 6 hours from Ohio.
Hi, Sarge.
Sorry. Everybody hide the shit. It's cops.
Well, you're the one that's going to keep them locked up.
Well, yeah. Okay, never mind. Give it to him. Give it to him.
What is going on?
Not much. How you doing, sir?
I'm very good. Sorry, I'm late.
That's all right. I saw you were in there, and then you took off. I figured you just don't want to be in the back room.
No. I was on my phone. I was driving home.
Better be late than not here at all.
So I was going to jump in case I was able to pop in and say hello, and then when I got home, I was going to switch over the computer. So that was a calculated move.
So you're not going to be able to make it, right? Because you got to.
Unfortunately, no, not. It's this weekend.
No, it's November 2nd.
Sorry, no, it's the weekend before.
Yeah, it's before Wanenmacher.
You can go there this weekend, but it won't be a very big tournament.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't have the funds to go out of town twice in the same week. I wish I did.
I'm coming right by your house if I decide.
How far is it for you, sir?
Like 7.5 hours.
So you could technically do it. You just need gas money.
Well, yeah, I'm off.
I'm seriously, in all seriousness, if we go, I won't know till that week of, but we're going to go through Tennessee and up through Knoxville.
Well, then just pick me up on the way if you're going that way.
Well, that's the way it's taken me. It's like 30 minutes farther, but I don't have to go through Illinois.
Yeah, I'd rather go through.
Kinky's wrong. I will get that out before your stamp gets approved.
I'm not sure.
It may be the day or two before, but it'll be out.
I'm terrible at this. I admit it. And I'll throw some extra stuff in there. But hey, no, seriously. Now that is definitely an option. If you're going and you're coming through here, yes, I could tag along and split some of the expenses. Then it would be affordable.
So now can we quit talking like a bunch of girls? Well, I shouldn't say that because we got a bunch of girls that act better than most of us. Like acting like a bunch of feebles. I like that one. So feebles sit around wishing they had money, right? And whatever the word would be, influencers go out and change the paradigm, right? Change the world. So Clover, I think, is going to talk about talking to gun shops or whatever. So this is something that, I don't know, I'm okay at it. I'm not great at it. It's a lot easier when you got a lot of clout for sure. So I'm out of practice. I don't have the same, I'm just in a different position than I was years ago. But when I started out, and there was no such thing as doing stuff online for guns, and it was just everybody it was only people who were like experimenting with the internet back in the 90s and the early 2000s period. let alone gun stuff. So there was no established anything, and there was no confidence or presumption that the internet would be around. There was still people that thought it was a fad when we started doing stuff. So it was a lot different back then, but it was certainly an aspect that can be, I think, the spectrum from intimidating and horrible for some people, and then some of the funnest part of running a project for some people. So we're creating content. Everybody's got reasons for creating content. Hopefully you're creating pro Second Amendment stuff that the community can be proud of. You might be doing that for fame and fortune, which is valid. You might be doing that to archive our present for the future. Maybe you're doing something to show your kids what you're passionate about in a way that no one's generations before us could have never done. Maybe you're just doing it because you like to explore this stuff. Maybe you like to be part of a valid community, and gun owners are, across the board, valid people. You want to know we're dealing with legitimate, law-abiding people. Same thing. Gun owners are good to go. So there's all kinds of valid reasons to be creating content, but not everybody is looking to grow or expand or get funded. But I don't want to continue. We don't need to continue. I don't want to see a future where we shy away from the funding aspect of this and changing the financial situation. I know I'm going all over the place here, but I'm going to go back to SHOT Show. I talked about this yesterday. When I first started going to SHOT Show, it was tough to take a picture, period, let alone a picture that I was going to put on the internet within a couple of days. That freaked them out. They were used to getting a regular picture, so people would have to fart around with their lighting and everything, and it would be obnoxious to the people running the booth, so they didn't like the time it wasted. Often the photographers would stop people from coming into the booth while they took pictures, so it disrupted the flow and the business they were doing. And then they were worried about people stealing the ideas or the stuff for airsoft and rip-offs and things like this. So they did not want high quality pictures. And at the time, even a small megapixel picture was high quality on the internet. They did not want that stuff just out there. It was not the norm. And then fast forward to now, and you go to SHOT Show, and there's literally areas set up with backgrounds, and they have product probably laying over here specifically to do videos of. They have probably a staff member who's there to do videos because there's so many people doing YouTube videos. That's a way that our culture and our use of tech has influenced the industry, right? Well, I keep petitioning that we can challenge the status quo. There's people like, the big name YouTubers, because we're all on YouTube. I'm going to use them as an example, but you could also say there's the old time authors, the established authors, the established bloggers, the radio show hosts, all of those things. Fine, great. They did this stuff for a long time. We're standing on their shoulders. They've all accomplished things. They're valid, but we can do all those things with a telephone now and with some ambition, and there's all the help in the world. So we know we can change the industry if we want to, or it does happen. We are changing the industry inadvertently. Sometimes we're manipulated by a hot product or a good marketing spin, and then literally the industry changes. Think of the Magpul training videos. That was literally a marketing stunt that has literally changed the industry. If people are around before the Magpul training videos and after, it's a different gun industry. And that's one of those like product type of things that trended or that went viral. So we know that the industry can be affected by our interaction with it. We know that there's people out here doing content creation for all different kinds of valid, useful reasons, and we know that the product that's produced isn't a viral video, and it isn't the best how-to, and it isn't the most flashy, highest production anything. Instead, it's real people doing real stuff. It's the conversation, it's the day-to-day real life that is what the antis hate. They love it when there's just a few individual flashy shoot a 50 BMG through some cell phones, and then they can discount gun owners as being exploitive, violent, looking at your phallic symbol, whatever they want to marginalize us as, right? All this regular content that we all create at whatever pace and whatever level of production, that is what's going to eventually change. Now, I like to look at this whole thing tech-wise, and all the stuff we lay down today, Think of the black and white movies from World War II and how few there are. And those are glimpses of what it was like in World War II. In the future, what you create today is what somebody in our descendants is going to be looking at with AI, and they're going to know what the world is like today, and they're going to know that guns were included. So I believe that there's lots of reasons to, create content as individuals and to change the paradigm from let's suck up to a couple of few who happen to produce well or flashy or look good or have contacts or have been around for a while or whatever the excuse is to have heroes, when instead we can talk to the industry, talk to gun shops, talk to manufacturers, talk to pizza places, talk to an auto shop place, talk to a lawyer or gardener who is a gun person and say, hey, there's a two-way rally that nobody's involved with. The NRA has nothing to do with it. The NRA is about to be crippled from their own actions and the 5 million members' disinterest and apathy. So there's two things that killed the NRA, and it's not Bloomberg. It's apathy of the members who gave $30 and walked away and said the organization should support itself. All things just work. And then the couple of unscrupulous jerks who destroyed the NRA from within. So those two things allowed the NRA to become effectively crippled. And in that environment, gun shops are having problems. The internet's screwing with gun shops, online FFLs. This is an opportunity for you as an individual to go talk to a gun shop and not sell nothing and not try to, do anything. We're just saying, hey, there's this big there's this big event coming and I'd like to go. I'm trying to raise money. Now, I started this whole thing when I started this whole thing, I basically was making a couple of bucks off of ads online, and that was a couple of bucks, but I'm running off of AOL money and investments and stuff. I was just running through savings at the beginning and then started to figure out how to make everything pay for itself with ads and stuff. And the reason I don't do all that stuff today is because not only it's a sucker bet, it takes forever. You really have to, I've always said it, you really have to reach the lowest common denominator and just do nothing in order to get the most amount of people to not hate what you're doing. Because you can never appeal to everyone. All you can do is not be dissatisfactory to as many people as possible when you're trying to do that game. So I've never liked that game. And what I come out with is, there's ways to fund, and back in the day, there were no Kickstarter, there was no YouTube paying no bills or anything. There was simply the online affiliate stuff, and that wasn't working for me. I didn't like it. So instead, I would go to gun shops and I'd say, hey, you don't know what the internet is. Again, this is not applicable. I was back in the day and there was like no one online. So I could literally walk in. I had to walk in and say, you don't know what the internet is because you're not on it, but you're missing out. And for a while there, I had pretty much every gun shop in town, there was only 3, but every place that sold fishing lures and fishing tackle in town. I had hunting guides. That was my gig back in the day. But, that was a part of it that I didn't look forward to. I never wanted to go be a salesman or sell myself out as a consultant or a service or whatever. But that's a skill that I acquired. And later on, I use it now when, if I had to talk to somebody and I wanted their flashlight or their screwdriver, or, I'm trying to negotiate something, if I was the kind of person to do it, to negotiate some kind of deal on a gun review or whatever. So anyway, I'm thinking that this Second Amendment rally in November, we can all look at it as another feather in the cap, as a little, chevron on the sleeve or like a ribbon on the chest. And I've been there, which is fine. We're allowed to collect ribbons. That's why we get them, so that we know who's part of the community who's been there. There's certainly validity in just going and being able to look around and look other humans in the eyeball and say, okay, this is someone who efforted to get here. Right on. We know who's legitimately, unless you walk down from the balcony because you live there, like Marco, then, you're efforting to be there. You're putting in a lot of effort. But aside from that, there's all the benefits we talked about for hours yesterday. I guess what I'm getting at is that we have the potential to use this as more than just an event to attend, but an event to help change the game. And I'm not trying to sound like blah, 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 outrageous, whatever. This is literally a unique event. We're coming into 2020 where people our age are going to be handing off the baton. We're trying to encourage and we're trying to grow. This is an opportunity. This is a paradigm shifter. There is not a time when the NRA, if this was happening and it was successful, the NRA would have stuck their little hand in there. There'd be an NRA banner on this if the NRA was still doing its thing. This could not happen with the NRA the way it normally would be, for more ways than one. This is not being like stoked by FPC or GOA. This is an opportunity for us, the individuals who are efforting to get there, to show this kind of passion to our gun shops and let our gun shops, who might not even know about these conversations we're having, that there's vital, like constant conversation online, concern and interest in them being successful. And what you'd like to do is go network with other people at that level of intent or intensity. And for a couple of bucks, like, I don't know how many gun shops you got around or what kind of relationships you got. And I understand that starting these relationships might be tough, but think about all the business owners people who can maybe help you with that. Maybe go to a gun shop and say, hey, look, this is my deal. And if you can get through to the owner of a gun shop, the next question, as soon as they go, that sounds interesting, say, who do you know that I should talk to? Who can I appeal this to? I tell you, from working in gun shops, I know people in Tucson, probably a dozen people, and we might be unique because people retire here, but I know people that would just walk into a gun shop and go, oh, that one. They'd fill out the stuff, they'd put it in the truck, and it would go into a vault. They'd never even open the box to see if the serial number was accurate, because they were simply buying investments. And I'm talking like FNs and SIGs and so whatever was high end, and they could get a couple of 3 guns for $1,000, grab it, 2,002 for 1,000, grab them. And that was like a monthly thing. So there's people that are significantly more wealthy than anybody in this room, even if you've got a water feature of your own. And the gun shops know about that. And if we're talking about something of serious of nature, and this like different of happening, get them involved. This is an opportunity. We can, just go and have a good time, or we can use it for what it is. And I'm just saying this because we're about to sail this stuff again in Clovers, right? And I got to practice. So thanks for letting me preach.
No problem. Of course, we'll let you preach. You're very, very good at it, and you've always got a good point behind it too. So I'm definitely gonna. And Dead Horse said he had printed out some of Ghost flyers. Did Dead Horse, did he email that to you, or did he put it on Gun Channels and I just haven't seen it? Or where did he get the flyer from Ghost?
I saw it somewhere, maybe on Gun Channels.
I was looking back through Gun Channels, and I don't see it.
No, I don't see it on Gun Channels, but I saw it somewhere. Maybe it was on Instagram or something.
No, that could be.
Or maybe it was in a group chat on Instagram, actually. Somebody posted it, that Benchmade one or something somebody made a long time ago. I think that's where I saw it.
But you had something to say, Snob. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I've got a real question, and it's probably more directed to Marco, but it's for anybody, David, anybody in that general area or that knows a lot about that area. So what my plan was stay like an hour or 2 out of DC and then get the motel for 2 days, leave my stuff in a motel. Well, you start talking about the train and all that. Can I park somewhere in Virginia, lock the gun in the trunk, ride the train in, come back? And then I don't have to worry about doing that. Because my problem is, like, if I wanted to drive back, I thought I could drive back a lot of it Saturday night. But if I have the motel room, I'm stuck. Follow what I'm getting at? I'm
sure there is some place that we could all park. And Marco would, let me see up here.
I seen he kind of put something in there.
That was mostly for me. And I'm not locked into leaving from Springfield. I am willing to meet up with people, wherever the majority of people want to meet up. If we want, because Springfield is kind of to the southwest. So if we've got people that are coming in and staying at the northwest or, up on the north side, if people want to meet like someplace due west from going in, I don't know the roads and everything going in there.
Well, the way it was taking me was Harrisonburg, and I don't remember what else. That was the, let's see. Let me zoom in on my map. It was turning on I-66 and going in. Because I looked at Strasburg and Harrisonburg was where I was looking at motels at.
Well, it's been a couple of years since I've been there, but I know Virginia used to have secured public parking for the train stations for those that commute into DC. So there shouldn't be an issue with you parking in that secured lot. Leaving your car there, riding the train in, and coming back out.
Well, that's what I was wondering if they had I don't mind paying for parking if it's like a secured lot that's what I don't want to park in some Turdville and have the car get broken into. I'm only going to bring one.
Yeah, like I said, most of them. At least, like I said, I don't think it would have changed. That would have been kind of stupid. But then again, it's Virginia. But just like with Philadelphia and those other ones, same way around here in Arizona, there's actually parking areas for commuters going down to Tucson and going to Phoenix and so on and so forth about halfway through. They're not secured lots, but they're semi-secured and they're patrolled quite a bit. But like I said, I know they used to have them there. I know Philly train stations and all that, they had all secured lots there that were actually patrolled by Philly PD. And Virginia was the same way. They had Transit PD take care of that. Same way with New York. They have Transit PD that takes care of those parking lots. A simple way to find out, call the train station and ask. That'd be the easiest way to do it. Because if they don't, they would know where.
Yeah. And like I said, if anybody's
I'll wrap my carry gun up in my dirty underwear. They're not gonna dig in that.
If anybody's in here or anybody's out in the chat who's thinking about going, send me an email. It's in the description of every one of my videos. You can email me and let me know. So I've got you on the list, and we'll work through that. We'll get a group message going and work through where everybody's going to be at, and where we might want to meet up, maybe get breakfast Saturday morning and get a G picture taken for it. And hopefully it'll be the biggest picture of people with gun channels G's that's ever been taken. So
no, that'll work out good because we can go to the top of the Washington Monument and hang the camera out there, do it all around the bottom.
There you go. And Snob can just yell up there, GoPro, take a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got one of them drones. They don't care if you fly drones around.
Yeah, I'm sure that's surely not frowned upon.
We should just go right out. We should just go right outside the White House. Just go right outside the White House and start flying that drone. I'm sure that.
And we'll just open carry while I'm doing it. That way, it really goes over good.
Make sure you open carry. So you have an AR and an AK strapped to your back, and you're good to go.
See, that's the thing, Snob. You definitely have to go now because then Sarge can carry. Can you carry in DC, Sarge?
God dang right I can.
All right, there you go.
We can carry it all 50 states.
That's well,
hold on. Does Leosa, right? Does that allow you to carry in DC? Because I thought that is different than the rest of the country.
They can't restrict.
Okay. I've heard cops talk about it. That's it's weird.
I don't think I will always do my homework. Like before we actually go, I will do my homework. But that HR 218 was written to where it can't be restricted, other than federal.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because it's a district, so it's like it's not Maryland, it's nothing, it's its own entity or whatever. Because they're weird. Anyway, good to go.
Yep, Snob, you definitely need to go then. So,
well, I'd like to. It's just, and I won't know till the week before is the biggest problem. I just got to figure out what I'm doing and all that. And
what do you mean the week before? Like because of just the kids and everything schedule? Or
no, I don't have the kids that weekend. It's just like my work and stuff like that. If I can, because just depends on what I've got going.
Well, anyway, so I did that big long ass speech there, but that's sort of the point, right? Like if we look at this as like, oh man, I'd really like to go on this vacation. It'd be great if I could schedule some time like this. Vacation's important to me. That's different than like, I don't know. I don't want to say something too crazy, but it's not it's not a sporting event. It's not I don't know. Like, let me put it this way. What if, like, seriously, this was a Hillary's White House and they were really going to do something in our last effort? Like they just stepped on the NRA and it's gone. And now they're running around like, they've got all the votes for it or something. And the last desperate thing we've got is everybody saying, hey, They're saying that we're not in numbers, but we're going to show up in DC and we're going to be numbers. We need to be there, right? In that situation, people are, I'm thinking, at a different level of urgency, right? If we look at it, I'm not trying to suggest anywhere near that level of urgency. I'm just looking at it like there's things that we would do out of necessity and we'd make them happen, right? Like that's why we have sick days and vacation days. That's why we've got savings and stuff. And I'm not suggesting anybody do all that. I'm just saying if we look at it that way, then can it be an effort to mobilize? And again, if that was the situation, again, not everybody can just take off of work, even if it was Hillary, about to delete the Second Amendment from the Constitution. Even if it's that dire and it's that important for everyone to be there, to make a statement, not everyone's going to be able to. And in those circumstances, I think people would be like, dang, I can't get there, but here's $20. Like, get there, right? Be there for me. I'm not trying to suggest this is the only time. And I hope that if this is successful, this won't be the only time. But what I am hoping is that we can create systems, right? So that we can facilitate that in the future. So we know they don't want to do this annually. This is just a one-time thing to try to spark. And I want to get the most use out of that spark. So instead of having conversations about just getting there and then maybe just where we're going to meet up, how do we have conversations, or is everybody down for trying to think of ways to, again, who do we talk to? How do we get a concise message? We come up with, if Carrie was here, she'd be saying, let's come up with a marketing plan, like a piece of paper. It's easy to say, let's talk to gun shops, but 6 people plus however many people you keep in the back room because of your way you like to run it.
What are we offering them? The gun
right,
shop.
Exactly. Like what if we came up? What if a couple of we don't have to do it tonight. It's just that what if a couple of shows this month and this week maybe, so that we can make use of them, are about how to talk to a gun shop and come up with a piece of paper. So if you're not comfortable approaching somebody, here's the thing: gun shops and everything else, I guess, are the same. They're in business. So as much as people go, blah, 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 people come up and try to sell me stuff all the time. Guess what? Your job is to sell stuff. So you're not in business very long if you don't keep your ears open to new potentials. So as much as people will say, oh, I don't like to have solicitors come by, if there were no solicitors, there'd never be any business being done. So we're not bringing them something that they've heard before, and we're not asking them to waste a portion of their time that's going to cost them any money. But we've in this room right now, we've got people that have had experience in shops. We know what will definitely not work. And if we could come up with something on a piece of paper, or maybe one flavor, a salt and a pepper, 2 different flavors, so that somebody who doesn't like salt can try the pepper flavor, come up with a couple real strategies. A week or 2 later, people come back and go, shit, I raised $3,500. I don't need that much. Like, who else can I bring? Like, oh, I raised $300 or I raised 35. Well, we sit around saying how we can't do it is easy. Let's try doing it and come back in 2 weeks and see how much money everybody got. So we might find out that gun shops are like, hot dang, these are people that for like a couple of $100 for the price of being an ad in the dandy dime, for less money than it cost me to be on at least in Tucson, these prices, less money than it cost me to be on a bus seat. The painting on the back of a bus seat costs $800 a month here in Tucson. So that's $800 that they're putting on the back of a bus seat. You think that works for advertising for a gun shop? It didn't for the shop that I know that paid $800 a month. They're out of business. So we're asking for what, $100 from each shop, or $25 from each shop? Like, can you offer anything? I don't know. Glimtech, and also, anybody who's been in business can tell you what's the best approach to actually. Sometimes the best approach is I need a sponsor, period, and then let them figure out what's appropriate. But anyway, that's getting into strategy. I just wanted to challenge everybody that basically this is an opportunity.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity. If people, sometimes you just got to get over that hump of making that ask. And I was planning on going out tomorrow and, printing up some of the flyers and everything and seeing if I could drop them in there. And, to me, it's really, it's going to be gas money for me. I don't need anything to get it up there. But I may make that ask anyway, just so I've got it to put to people who do need more than just the couple 100 miles worth of gas money to get there. So, it's tough though. That making that ask is always tough. But it's definitely
for mine.
for
It's
something.
not even as much about the money as it is just if I have a job that I can't not do.
Right. Well,
because there's some things I just can't not be there. I mean, period. Or I'm gonna be truthfully e-begging every week whenever I don't have a paycheck coming in because I lose contracts with some of my lots or something. That's my only holdup, and I just won't know till a little closer to time because I didn't know long enough ahead to tell them, "Hey, there's no way I can be here." This, and this, and it may not even be an issue.
Yeah, but we all know people who can use the money to get out there. Like I said, it's going to be. I didn't even look at it. It's going to be a couple 100 miles, I think, from my house to get up there. So
1,225.
Yeah, so that's not going to be anything for me to get up there. I mean, I'm not worried about gas money, and I'm not going to have to pay for a hotel because I have family that's right outside of it, so I'm going to stay there, But other people are going to need hotels and more gas money, or, if anybody decides that they're going to fly into the area and come out there, which, some people might be doing that. But like I said last night on G Show, the biggest thing for me is that if we have a good turnout, if we have any kind of turnout, is that everybody realizes that there's 10 or 100 or 1,000 people behind every one of those people that showed up, that's helped them get there, that supports them getting there, that in some way or another. So like I said, I'd love to see 100,000 people show up. But if it's 5,000 people show up, it's 5,000 people that showed up, completely grassroots without being sponsored by NRA or GOA or anybody else to get up there. That they got there because they wanted to get there for the Second Amendment.
Well, see, I looked at flying, and it's going to cost, I think it was $338 round trip per person. But if me and Stacy both go, that's $700.
That's a train or plane, or
that's a plane. I ain't got time for a train. And if I drive, me and her both drive, we can drive it straight through, especially, we pick up Sarge and have somebody to talk to and stuff. But, and we can rent that same car we rented to go to Indy got 40 miles a gallon. So it's going to be the same price or cheaper to drive. So I think we'll just drive if we go. And I'll probably know more like 2 weeks out, but I just won't know till a little closer.
No, still you'll know. So,
and Stacy had no clue. I came home. She wasn't feeling good. She didn't go to work today. She was taking a nap, and whenever she woke up, I was like, "Hey, you want to go to DC?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna go to DC." I've been sitting in there on my phone. As soon as I got home, I was adding up everything, figuring out what it cost and how far it is and where to stay and all that.
All right. Well, here's another idea for everybody that doesn't. Well, just to throw another idea out there. Do a video on the concept of going and talk about why you'd like to go, and literally do the video on how you plan to get there, if it's plane or if it's rental car, and either do it live and just screen share like I would do, or if you like to do produce stuff, go through and capture screens and add it all up, or some nice graphics or whatever. But I highly encourage you to do that. Do it right around the 10-minute mark so that you get hit by the logarithms, because it's going to take you a while to explain it. Explain why you want to go, what you think that the Second Amendment rally is for, and then the second half of that 5 minutes, adding up how much it's going to cost you to get there. There are people on the planet that have discretionary dollars that are much bigger than anything we can imagine scale wise, and putting something up like that, tagging it with "I want to be at the rally," or just tagging it with the hashtag of the Second Amendment rally. Who knows what kind of strategies are going on, and who knows if you start putting stuff out like that, if we got a gun Oprah who's like, "You're going to the rally, and you're going to the rally, and you're going to the rally, and you're going to the rally." So be realistic, but make the video. If you do nothing, when Gun Oprah comes around and starts going like this, you're not there to get a gun a ticket to the gun rally. Nothing else to get the word out about the rally, right?
No. I was just checking under my chair to see if there was a ticket to the gun rally under my seat.
What about a car? Was there a new car under your?
It's just a car. Just a car. No gun rally.
And by car, you mean a KAHR, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Not
All right. Oh, there's a Walther.
There's a Walther under your.
Suppressed Walther.
All right.
What kind of sick bastard puts an orange tip on his compressor?
This is my son's. He's weird like that. It'll shoot out of the magazine. You don't even have to have it in the gun.
So, has anybody heard of this new gun that's coming out from what's that company? Springfield Traders or Traders Armory or something like that? That's unsafe.
Hey, don't be pointing that thing at Budget.
Don't flag him, bro.
Oh, he turned off his camera just in time.
Oh man, you shot him. Oh man, you killed
I
Budget.
see the bounce right across Sarge's screen too.
Well, apparently, Smith & Wesson is getting into the subcompact game now. Did you guys see that?
They gonna make a double stack shield?
Springfield, Mass. October 2nd. Smith & Wesson announced that it has introduced the M&P 2.0 subcompact pistol to its M&P 2.0 pistol series. The latest addition to the 2.0 family features a smaller subcompact frame that's ideal for concealed carry with a 12+1 round capacity in 9mm. Available in 940-45. So that'll be interesting to see when that.
I love my shield. That may be something I buy.
I think it's always telling when people are sharing a screen like this that you see the ads that they're out searching for. Look at that giant water feature.
Well, he does. He probably has been searching for the teeth.
Yeah, this one right here, that's more likely.
He's shopping for a new sugar mama too, it looks like.
Apparently, it looks like it. Yeah, this one down here, is that the one you're talking about, G?
Depends on how much money she's got.
So it's going to be available.
So it's right there, getting a big payday. Of course he's watching her.
That's right. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Says they're getting a big payday.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a hot time at the retirement home tonight.
With or without an ambidextrous thumb safety, or you could just delete it. Was it your shield that you deleted it, or was it?
No, that was the bodyguard.
Oh, the bodyguard.
He deleted it with a grinder.
Mm-hmm. Just like would I cut my seatbelt out of my car?
Man, I got some hot stuff on my. But there you go. Now Smith & Wesson's getting in on the.
It's a good looking gun.
Mm-hmm. I've been interested in the.
Is it optic ready?
Does not look like it. Doesn't look like it. So that P365 SAS is still looking like the. Well, that one wasn't optic ready, was it? It just
has that side.
It's got that neat little rear sight in it.
Mm-hmm.
The SAS.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you said it better. SAS.
So that'll be interesting. Now we're just going to have all kinds of fighting coming out over who's got the best subcompact. Oh, there's Gizzard's in the back room now.
Gizzard must have finally made it home, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, I gotta bring Gizzard in here because
He just got done walking to the car.
Yeah. He's winded.
He's winded.
It's 570 meters.
Hey, man, I'll go ahead and hop off so Gizzard can hop in. All
right, Budget.
You guys later.
Got anything you want to plug before you hop out?
I will be doing a show Friday at 11:30. I know that originally I hadn't been intending to because I was going to go camping. However, my brother had decided to injure himself, and we will not be going hiking this weekend. So Friday night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters, I'll be doing the Right of the People.
All righty, sir. And like I said, drop me an email so that I can put you on the list for the meetup. Like I said, I'd like to get a whole list together of people that are going. Definitely
I won't be
going.
having breakfast with anyone on Saturday morning. I'll be driving.
Oh, you'll be driving in?
Yeah, about 04:30, 0500 till I get there. Should be about 11.
Okay.
If anybody
with traffic, that means like right before the rally starts at 1. So yeah.
If anybody gets separated or you lose Obnoxious, just go to the reflecting pond and he'll probably be there hovering around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are there any fishes in it?
It's like Abraham Lincoln's private water feature.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Budget.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for the invite.
All right.
Yeah.
See ya.
Where is the chicken?
There's the chicken.
What's
Gizzard,
up?
how you doing, brother?
Pretty middling. How about yourself?
Not too bad. And for those of you, Night Strike and Kingpin, who are still in the back room, if you would like to come in, just say something in the private chat or turn your camera on and give me the finger, and we'll bring you back. We'll bring you back in. I know Kingpin's usually pretty happy just getting out there in the chat and talking. And Night Strike's probably, I don't know, he's probably on the hamster wheel, make sure GunTube is still going. So, but we were having a discussion with Gizzard earlier today, and Gizzard needs him a barbecue gun.
But he's so tight he won't spend $1,400 when I send him a party.
Well, he doesn't have to spend $1,400 on, I told you, don't just jump him right up to,
if I had Gizzard's money, I'd buy 2.
I'm surprised you didn't just tell him to go out and get a Korth or a Nighthawk or a Cabot.
Well, I was being polite. I didn't want him to spend everything he had.
Carolina Arms Group. I mean, you could.
I still want him to buy me a Christmas present.
So, anybody out there?
Oh, I got your present.
Anybody out there in the chat? Anybody here on the panel? What would be a good barbecue gun for Gizzard?
Yeah, Night Strike's got a point there. He says, I got
First
in
thing,
1911.
define a barbecue gun.
It's got to be shiny and purty and look good when open carried. For when he goes to those Kansas 2A rallies, he can't be carrying a Glock 19.
Well, what's your 1911, Gizzard?
It's a Taurus.
That's not bad. Is it blued or is it stainless?
It's blued.
Oh no, barbecue gun's got to be stainless or something.
Yeah, I could have got a stainless one for $450 last week. They had one.
Lead Life says the Yeet Cannon. That's a contender, and that's in what Gizzard is willing to spend for.
That's in my price range. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's our price range, Gizzard? 800? Can we go 800 for a nice quality barbecue gun?
You can get a Sig Elite used for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice 226.
Yep.
Or even a 225.
Ghost is in there. He's come right out with the Wilson Combat or the Nighthawk.
Cripes, I don't have Ghost kind of money.
Jason Stewart, he said, Gun-Toting Pacifist said a Ruger SR 1911 in stainless, which we directed.
That was my second option for him. I found him one in 10 millimeter.
Yeah,
for around $800.
380 EZ.
Well, you are getting kind of old.
Rodney Speeder says a Clot Gold Cup. So
Breda 92 Inox, that's not bad.
92 inox. That's not bad. That'd be a good barbecue gun. And there's plenty of aftermarket grips you can get on there to make that. Yeah, you can get that. I got mine for $6.
LCP2, seriously?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And see what you do is you send that the slide from the LCP2 to Turnbull. Yeah, and for $100 or $150, they'll color case harden it for you.
Wow.
Rodney says,
if you really don't want to spend the money, though, you can get a 3rd Gen Smith in stainless.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know where I could get a CHP gun fairly cheap.
Mm-hmm. You can get a CHP gun. They're still out there for about $400, and those are sweet looking guns. I don't.
Especially put some grips on them.
Got one.
Put some grips on them. They're pretty sharp.
I mean, there's plenty of options, but I mean, seriously, Gizzard, are you thinking about getting a barbecue gun? Because everybody needs a.
We got him interested.
Everybody needs a barbecue gun.
Kimber Bel Air.
Well, I mean, that would be pretty nice one. Mm-hmm. And whenever you don't like it, I'll buy it off of you for.
But it takes 6 months just to get one, evidently.
It's a long wait. It's like 2-year wait. The first time she saw one of those was at Gander Mountain, and they've been bankrupt and out of business for some time.
See, Ghost says a 1911 with custom chicken grips.
I bet you we can find custom chicken grips on the.
I'll bet you can too. 38 Super Partisan says Gun Prime had 6906s for $400. That would be what, the full size, all stainless, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the full size, all stainless 9. Let me look.
Damn, at midnight, it's still a Taurus.
You can use that Kansas Hornady ammo. I like that. Yeah, I heard about that from G-Webs in a chat.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to get Gizzard away from the Taurus shilling.
Evidently, having 3 Glocks isn't good enough for you either. So.
No.
You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers.
When you got the Taurus all crammed into the macaroni, that's when everybody knew you had a problem. Can't get it out of there.
There you go. Ghost says get a Peacemaker.
He said Wyatt Earp made a name in Kansas. Yeah, there's a motel named after Wyatt Earp at the truck stop I drive by every day. The Wyatt Earp Inn. Yeah. He must have stayed there for all I know.
He was a truck driver.
He was. A lot of people don't know that.
Or it's a compact frame. 3.5
Or you
barrel.
get yourself a nice revolver, Gizzard. Those make good barbecue guns too.
Mm-hmm. Like a GP100?
Yes.
GP100.
So you're saying my Taurus Model 85 don't count?
No.
If it says Taurus, it doesn't count.
It's stainless.
It doesn't count.
I might give you a Taurus, their fake Beretta. I might give that one. Or maybe their stainless 1911.
Well, that I could make happen.
The GP100 4-inch barrel stainless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I prefer blued.
Well, that's you. And you're wrong.
But he already said that doesn't meet the criteria of a barbecue gun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I would not spend $450 on a Taurus 1911 when I already had one. If it was me, I would spend that same $450 on a Smith.
A Ghost
you don't have one.
He says get an old revolver in Tulsa.
And you can get that guy that makes those leather cowboy holsters to make you a custom holster for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can keep your cartridges in your belt, your Colt 45 cartridges in your belt.
Do you know, even though he was issued a SIG when the guys, before he retired, still wore one of the old handcuff pouches that also held 6 individual rounds in it. Even though they went from a revolver to a semi-automatic.
Really?
It was fantastic.
Oh man, they go with the old dumb pouches, man. I used to love those things.
See, armament. We're not hating on Tauruses because generally Tauruses they're decent guns, but it's not a barbecue gun, and everybody needs to have themselves a nice barbecue gun.
Yeah, and Gary never treats himself. He doesn't treat himself to anything nice. So we're trying to convince him to treat himself. That's what his Christmas present to himself.
Yep.
That and an AR.
Yes, you definitely
get a barbecue AR.
Barbecue AR.
There you go.
I've seen those. I don't remember where, but I think it was at Bass Pro or Cabela's, and you had your, it was technically a barbecue AR. I think they had the barbecue lighter AR, and they had the one that was the
just get one Cerakoted
pancake
white
flipper spatula.
Cerakoted white or Cerakoted silver.
Pure D silver. Too bad I don't know anybody who Cerakotes.
I don't either.
And Gizzard has a problem with getting an old revolver at Wanenmacher is that he can't, unless it was really old, or black powder,
or ships it,
which
is doable.
Yeah, it's doable too. But
or you can just give in and buy you a SIG 220. 220.
Then you're
really
free
nice.
with my money, Snub.
I saved you $120 just 2 weekends ago.
You personally did this?
Yes, personally.
I'm gonna let Rich in here because he's been sitting in the back room.
I brought you
if you want
a range bag.
That.
Say if you want a 226 or a 229, we'll have to chat. Because I can hook you up.
226. Go for it. Stainless Elite.
It's going to be a little salty.
Pure perfection.
Something I have in stock. I got a 226 357 SIG, and I got a 226 MK25.
Ooh. You got a 226 stainless or?
No, they're not stainless.
No, see, that's the thing. We got to get him in. We got to get him in a stainless. No stainless.
Yeah, but the MK25, that's that's the military one. So that's that has all the internal phosphate ones. So you can stick it on the grill and you can grill it, and it's all good.
Wow, midnight.
He's such a sweetheart, isn't he?
Give him the bird.
No, I'll give him the bird. All right.
Midnight should really be in the hens chat. He misses out.
I know, right?
Oh, he is such a baby. He'll whine about messages in the middle of the night.
Yeah, he probably would. The rest of us just deal with it. Trying to go to bed and your phone's over there vibrating. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, you go to work, you come back, you've got 862 missed messages. Yeah, it happens.
So, Gizzard, are you really seriously thinking about getting a barbecue gun? And if so, what are you leaning towards?
Well, I didn't know anything about this until I got here tonight. So,
well,
we had this whole conversation.
Yeah, we
today.
had
Where
this
were
whole
you?
conversation.
You were in it.
He was walking to the car.
I was walking.
He was in it, but he wasn't listening.
Yeah,
he was texting back.
Whole different thing. Yes and no.
He was
I'm not
getting
going
mad
to
at me.
spend no small fortune on one, but if I find something that tickles my fancy.
It's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you look around, you won't lose any money.
Instead of
I just got to
that.
be careful about listening to Snub because he's got a bad habit of trying to talk me into buying right now and got to have this one.
You do it, don't you? You haven't regretted it yet, have you?
As regards the Glock 22, it was me who pointed out the ad to you, so don't take credit for that one.
I'm just saying you haven't. You pointed it all out. I just convinced you should do it right then.
You said do it. basically was your word.
Have you I'm an enabler. What can I say? But have you regretted your purchases yet?
No. I also told you to buy something else, and you haven't done that yet.
She can buy it herself.
Ooh,
Oh, Ghost says a
serious?
deagle. Shut up, Sarge.
NAA mini revolver. That's not a bad idea either.
Yep.
Oh,
a
there's
belt
your
buckle
price
gun.
range. You save money. You don't even need the Savoy leather holster.
It'd be a revolver. It'd be pretty. It'd be my price range.
You get two of them. You put one on the belt buckle and one on the bolo tie.
There you go. And it'll fit my
And get you
hand.
a cowboy hat and put one up there.
Yeehaw. Well, we'll see what I come up with.
I think you should get one of those Deagle, like the one I had. That was a pretty nice gun. Stainless.
But the BFR?
Smith & Wesson 500 Magnum.
But he could get that. He could get the BFR. I'd get it in 4570 if I was buying.
Ghost says a Hudson H9.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can get a deal on them now. There's absolutely,
Yeah,
there's absolutely no warranty, and you better
No
you better
parts.
hope that it doesn't.
I wouldn't
break down
shoot
on
it.
you. Yeah, I wouldn't shoot it.
Mia's out there helping me out.
Uh-huh. Just telling it like it is. Ruger Super Alaskan.
No, he needs that one we were looking at the other night. The bear kit.
Bear
The
kit.
Smith &
Yeah,
Wesson
but
bear kit.
that's blued. And the
think it
bear
was
kit
stainless.
the bear kit was stainless. That's
Well,
right.
yeah, if you're going to Alaska, you don't want a blue gun that's going to rust.
Ruger Super Alaskan and 44 Magnum.
Oh yeah.
Super Soaker. Now that's my price range.
We'll bring Rich in because once we started talking about Gizzard's barbecue gun, Rich hopped right into the chat. So I figure Rich has probably got something to say about it.
He's going to be shilling for Smith & Wesson revolvers.
Probably.
That's not a bad thing to show for. They're nice.
They're nice.
Not. It's not a bad thing. I mean, you've all seemed to like the looks of my 627 when I showed it. So.
And you know what
the Wanenmacher grips on there.
You know what we could do, because we've never done it on this show, I think, and I don't have a sponsor, so I don't even know if I should do it. But we could do show us your guns, and even though I don't have a sponsor for show us your guns, so I don't have any reason to make Ape's spleen bleed. But Gizzard has a sponsor for Show Us Your Guns, and
well, no, technically, it's a sponsor for my prize giveaway before the Show Us Your Guns. So you're going to have to give away something first if you're going to do that stuff.
I don't have to give away anything. I was just saying that we could still make Ape's spleen bleed.
You could just do like me. You could give something away, then just take 3 weeks to mail it.
I could do that.
Snob, you know what to do.
You could deliver it in person.
I'm starting to think that's when my site's going to get here.
You're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
So
Kinky was saying that he's going to get his suppressor before he gets whatever you're supposed to send.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Those are on sale too.
So why don't we do a Show Us Your Guns?
Oh, God dang it. Here. Give me a second. I'll go get a gun.
Well,
What are we doing?
Gun?
Not with me. Well, I mean, I have one right over there.
Oh, you guys frowned upon me about this, and you're going to let Sarge get by with this?
What?
I already gave it now.
I didn't have a gun within reach of me one day, and
I don't know why you
did.
didn't have a gun in reach with you.
It was
but
ridiculous.
Lord, I'll be okay for a second.
Ours
better.
lives in a decent state that isn't at risk at 24/7.
Mm-hmm. But we'll do Show Us Your Guns, and I'll start off.
Are we doing barbecue guns?
Yeah, we could.
All right, give me a second. I'll be right back.
I mean,
You've
this
already
is
established I don't have one, so I'm out.
even though I have my potato cam, probably. So you probably
It actually looks better than normal.
does it? Can you see
Right, because it's small.
if I get?
No, that made it worse.
Did it make it worse? So that is the new Colt King Cobra target. It's a 4 4.25 inch barrel target, adjustable rear sights.
That would also
Custom.
make you a nice barbecue gun, Gary.
Mm-hmm. So there's my show. Show us your guns. We've got Rich down here.
I go the same vein, only this one will be a Smith & Wesson. 7. And this one holds 8 instead of 6.
No, mine only holds 6. I guess so. I guess I'll make do with 6.
Yeah, you got to make do with 6. So while you're reloading, I can still shoot 2 more.
I don't know what a shallywag is. You're gonna have to explain that one, bloke.
Yeah,
This one's also got the target sights on the rear.
Yeah, well, I didn't think they had come out with this yet, and I stopped in at one of the local gun stores, and there it was sitting.
Makes sense if you're wagging your shally, you're gonna need to put it on your ankle so it don't fall off.
That's true.
All right. We got Gizzard's got one out. He's got his Taurus 1911. He's got his Orange Life shirt on.
That's right.
And now all he's got to do is get a stainless slide for that, and he'll be set.
Mia wants to know if you have any revolvers, and I don't think you do you?
Do I? Yeah, I have a couple.
Oh yeah, you did. You did say you got your Taurus.
I forgot. I've got one of my barbecue guns out here. Let me go get it.
Oh, hold on.
I went and got my barbecue gun.
All right. Well, we got
on Thursdays we wear orange.
We got the one who strikes at night. Hold on, Night Strike. I'm bringing you in.
I don't have an orange shirt, but I have orange writing on my shirt. Does that qualify?
Let's see it again. Is that your new P229? The LE trade-in?
It's got the short hammer and the short bobtail.
Yes, LE trading like new, about $400. That's
nice.
What caliber?
Did it bite you again? Did it bite you like your 1911 does? Because
I got bit from one of the envelopes sending out all the patches.
What caliber?
I bought it in 40 Smith & Wesson, and then I went and got the barrel conversion. 357 SIG.
You're like, oh, this bullet is the most common, one of the most economical. You can find it through all kinds of strife and famines. Oh, no,
right.
I'd rather shoot one of the more expensive snappy rounds, please.
Right. 40 Smith & Wesson just wasn't good enough, so I had to say, you know what, screw it. Why don't I go 357 SIG? Because, I got to be all elitist like that.
Uh-huh. I don't want to be able to go into a gun shop and find my caliber ever.
Right. No, actually, believe it or not, I can find my caliber all over the place in this area.
Don't muzzle me with that Gizzard. I can tell it's loaded.
Oh, it is loaded.
Muscle?
What is that? What is that? Taurus
85.
Taurus 85.
No, does this work in the macaroni? Have you got that video coming?
I don't believe it'll quite fit in there.
Oh, it'll fit.
It's safe now. None in the chamber. Or all in the chamber. Take your pick.
All right. Snob, I think, is gonna one up you.
I've got a real barbecue gun.
Yeah.
So I did want to mention that the 229 magazines I got are 12-round magazines instead of 13, like my PT220, my P320. So it's weird. Anyways.
And this is a holster courtesy of Midnight Range that I'm putting it back in. He got me a smaller holster than what the one I bought is, but I don't know what I did with the one I bought.
GP100.
There we go. BBQ.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice barbecue gun.
Oh, you know what else would make a nice barbecue gun, Serge?
What?
If I had a 507C on the back of this.
No, because it's still just a Glock.
I know. It's got a stainless barrel. I'm gonna Cerakote the slide something after I do this.
It's got a stainless barrel.
Uh-oh.
Really?
It does. Look, and it shows through. I got 2 of those in the mail today. I'm not sure why though. Night Strike shipped them in 2 separate envelopes.
Why
I'm
not?
confused as this.
GunTube, people, GunTube. Make sure you get on GunTube.
Why I shipped in 2 separate envelopes? Because your name popped up twice. That's why. I didn't catch it.
Because I bought them at 2 separate times, and then I just donated some on the other times.
You can tell he's not really poor because that's one of the first things I'll do is go through and find out how many people doubled, and then pocket that.
I mean, you could have saved like $2 or whatever it was to ship them to put them both in one envelope.
He ain't even paying any attention to it because he hasn't gone absolutely apeshit yet.
Oh, I'm paying attention to it.
As a $1 co-owner, again, I'm writing notes. I'm thinking of the accounting in this place.
Yeah.
Need so one problem. This one ain't yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. But I promise, as soon as yours gets here, I'll get it out because I told you it might be a while.
I know. For the money you saved me, I'll hold my horses.
But it will go out. And I'll probably just mail kinky stuff to you and let you mail it to him.
We'll probably get it faster.
Gotta tie it to a pigeon and send it out.
Oh, Night Strike's going to have a private water feature. He's got room for one.
I'm still waiting for it to pop up on. It's not popping up on the duck here.
What's not?
The last 3 texts in the chat. Oh, there it just.
Yeah, there's a crazy lag sometimes.
Crazy.
Well, the problem is I'd have to find a magazine for it, and I've misplaced it.
Probably find it out there with the lawnmower.
Yeah, probably. Nah, I think it's over there on the magazine shelf.
Every newspaper in his town, I think there might be one.
There's one. It's the Chelsea Reporter.
It probably comes out once a week.
It does on Thursdays.
You have it. It just comes out one time a week.
Yeah, on Thursdays.
What our paper does too is once a week.
Oh, ours is 3 times a week.
Big town.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
I'm just buy them now if they went up to 75 cents.
I didn't think that was much. I didn't realize places were less.
All right. So anybody got anything else?
Oh, I got one more barbecue gun to show.
Oh, do you?
Is my wife in here? It's a sore subject.
Oh, damn.
No, he didn't.
He is going to be Sarge. He may be driving out and picking you up, but he's going to stay.
That's okay. So Snob, how long are you going to stay here? Just a couple more days. And well, me and Obnoxious are going to Oklahoma. That's all right. I'll be fine here.
Yeah, I'll stay here. I'll watch the kids for you.
You need any help up there? He does have law enforcement experience.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else got anything before we start winding it down, sweeping the floors, putting the chairs on the tables, getting out of here? So
I thought I might actually go to Clover's this week. Benzie actually did send me out an email this time ahead of time, and I didn't get it on like Sunday.
So we got anybody else got anything else? Who did we just lose?
Night Strike.
Night Strike.
No.
How'd that happen?
I can remove myself. I'm heading out. I'm going to. I got to turn GunTube on maintenance mode so I can redo everything and get everything done so it doesn't take forever for domain name to propagate and everything.
All right. You got anything you want to plug before you head on out then?
Just check Hit or Miss every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock on the Night Strike 1 channel on YouTube.
Alrighty.
There we go.
All right. And
I've got something I want to bring up. It's not really plugging something as much as it's what grinds my gears. You may not realize this because I don't like to talk about it very much, but I'm a $1 co-owner in this thing called GunTube. And GunTube is a pro gun video hosting platform. And the fucking dwell time for the domain name propagation. Oh my goodness. So you talk about grinding my gears.
he's already left. He's left.
He's freaking out by osmosis.
He's got so much money he doesn't care about your $1 co-ownership.
Mm-hmm. No domain name dwell time.
He's just gone.
It could be 14 nanoseconds for all he cares.
Well, the reason it's taking so long is because he's using up all the bandwidth shopping for private water features, looking for the best installer.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, G, you got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Just think of the thing on the second as an opportunity, right? We can be individuals and we can watch and we can report on what other people are doing, or we can be part of it all. And this is an opportunity really to be part of something that's different. It'll only happen once. I think there's the road trip part of it and the getting together and figuring something out to do when we're there. And then just the skills that we'll build if we can use this as an opportunity. Go into a gun shop and saying, hey, help me out is one thing, but saying, hey, help me out because of this thing that's happening in 4 weeks that's unprecedented. It would be like going to a local record store and saying, hey, there's this thing called Woodstock and I want to go and I'm going to come back with pictures and we're going to put them on the wall and you'll be the only record shop in Kansas or Nebraska, depending on which one you're claiming, with pictures from this thing that happened in New York. And again, these people are in business, so it is something that's not asking them to deal with something that's going to cost them anything to listen to us. If we get stronger, or when we get stronger to do all that, nothing but benefit. So I'm stoked on it, and hopefully people will consider it. Thanks.
All right, and since you're not going to plug it, I will. There is G-Webs has put out a special patch. These are not factory seconds. These are specially made first run patches. They are prototypes, not factory seconds, that you can go to buy one of those and help support G.
There's no lettuce on these. These aren't garbage. These weren't in the garbage and then were salvaged and now just picked apart. No.
Okay. Well, that's what I was getting at. These are actually high quality prototype patches made by the man himself, and to help him get some gas money so that he can be out there for this 2A rally. And if there's anybody in this chat that deserves the chance to get out there to this 2A rally, it's G-Webs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But I'm going to be doing the circuit. What would be the right name of trying to do all the different podcasts and stuff out there? Plug in the almanac this month. So, I appreciate the plug, but we've got a lot of people to try to effort to get there. I think I'll be covered because of I got some different kind of abilities, some different resources for reach. But thanks.
Mm-hmm. And we've also got Free Patch Friday coming up tomorrow. So if you're interested in any of the patches G has over there, go buy them tomorrow, and you will get a free patch with it. So thanks for coming in, G.
I ain't going nowhere. I didn't get no link from Clover Lakes. Not good.
No, I ain't got one either yet, but I got an email earlier. So I'm assuming.
Sarge, sir.
Hello.
What do you got going on? You going to do a show Saturday?
Yes. And I'm doing something tomorrow morning. And I'm actually trying to do a quick turnaround time. So look for something about 2:00 tomorrow. And then I'm doing my live show Saturday night.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I'll be there for the show on Saturday night.
Yes, so will I, hopefully.
That would be a good thing.
That would definitely be a good thing.
I might just turn it on and just hand it to you. Say, here, take it.
No, that's not going to happen. All right, Gizzard, what you got coming on? You got Are you doing your show tomorrow? Are you off on Friday so you can
I
still
am
do
off
your?
on Friday. That is
So
correct.
you can still do your show.
I certainly can.
All right.
And George Grayson Cat, my friend, my cat, and my channel partner, would like to invite everyone to come to Foul Territory tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, so you too can give him the bird. Thanks for the invite, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Gizzard. And we'll get you in a barbecue gun here.
Sweet.
To a fuzzy channel partner.
Him is.
G knows all about that. You can get that fuzzy white dog hanging out.
Dogs
right.
are furry, not fuzzy.
Animals are people too.
Mm-hmm. Snob, what do you got going on? Are you going to do a show Saturday or not?
Probably.
All right.
I plan to.
Okay.
And yeah, I got stuff and things going on, man. I mean, just chilling, you know.
Yep,
Wanna
we
do
know.
best.
We know. It's sportsworldtulsa.com. Visit sportsworldtulsa.com.
I ain't got nothing from him right now, but I mean, we were talking the other day in some messages. I know what I'm probably getting in a few days. So.
Budget. His mic is his fuzzy channel partner. This is true.
I was confused whenever I seen George up there. I really thought it was Budget back in here. Only I realized that was a live cat on the mic instead of a dead cat.
Yeah, George isn't as fuzzy as that possum that Budget had on his mic.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Snob.
Yep.
Limtech, sir, what do you have going on?
Sir, not a whole hell of a lot. Thank you for the invite. Other than I got to be on a range Saturday with a bunch of women with guns, which is scary in itself. But other than that, not a whole lot. Quiet week for a change.
All right. Well, thanks for
Again,
coming
thank
in.
you for the invite.
No problem. Kingpin, you got anything coming up you want to plug?
No, man. Thanks for having me. But Rick is back on Saturdays, every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So go check Rick's show out.
All righty, sir. Thanks for coming in. Rich, what you got?
Yeah, Sunday night, 8 Eastern, again, the only time zone that matters. We will have This Week Unloaded on the Unloaded Media channel.
All righty. So everybody go check that out too. And I'd like to thank everybody here in the panel. I'd like to thank everybody out there in the chat. I'd like to thank all my patrons for supporting me. I don't know why you do it, but thank you for doing it. We're gonna call this one done and get the hell out of here. And everybody go over and check out Clover after this, and make sure you go over to G-Webs and check out Free Patch Friday. You could probably even order now. He says you can order now, and they pretty much count. So go check that out. If you have the ability, get to the 2A rally on November 2nd. If you don't have the ability to get there, but you got a buck or two, find a creator that you like who is going, and throw them that buck or two for gas or whatever. But just remember, we're doing this for us. We're doing it for you. Those of us that can go and have the ability to go are going, because it's important. It's something that a lot of us feel that we need to do at this time. So with that said, we're going to get the hell out of here. Have a good one. Everybody get your plugs ready. And
What for dinner?
Go.
Give him the bird.
What's for dinner?
Sarge says, see you at the range. G-Web says, G-Web stuff.
Bye-bye and buy bonds.
Watch out for bears.
Watch out for bears. There you go. G-Web says, watch out for bears. See ya.